Alrighty. We are live streaming on Facebook and YouTube all the way from the beautiful Sunshine Coast, and we have people who are logged in from all over the world. So, Kevin, keep an eye on the waiting room if you could, please. Just keep approving people as they come in. Thank you. Saw that happening. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have Spanish translation today, if you can understand me in English, and that is by clicking the interpretation button. So if we can get you just to post that at the bottom of the chat one more time, please, Alfredo, in Spanish, and then we'll copy and paste that all the way through the event. Okay, so today's event is awesome for a few reasons. Firstly, I'm about to head off to Asia with Ryan, and I won't be here. So there's a very last event. You'll see me for about 14 days. And that's exciting. I can't wait for that. But it's also exciting because today's event is about a critical topic. And our CEO, and I say this not because he's listening, has his finger on the pulse more than any corporate executive I've ever known in my entire career. And he requested this event because he said, we've got thousands of people joining every week around the world right now, and some of them are not getting orientated. So I don't want to take the wind out of his sails and what he's going to say. But Aaron, if you want to unmute, I'll get you to kick off and I'll get the recognitions primed and ready as you're doing that as well.
Well, Michael, thank you. And of course, I also want to thank Michael. And this is part of this type of training call. This is not a traditional get together and meet up and everybody sing Kumbaya. This is an opportunity for us to really come together and understand exactly what it is that we're doing as we continue to move forward. And as Michael said, we have thousands of people joining us, and we need to make sure that they understand exactly what it is that they need to do on a daily basis, making sure that they understand the day-to-day activities and that they have somebody that can embrace them, really hold them close to them, but also create a little bit of accountability. And so one of the things that we're going to talk about is just really celebrating those people that have just joined us recently. They are the most important people in the room right now, and I really mean this sincerely. They are the most important person right now. Why? Because as they start to learn more about Neumi, and as they start to learn more about the company and about the hydrostat technology, the delivery system that we've created, as they really start to understand the culture around the world that Neumi has developed, as well as the community that they are joining, it's going to be that opportunity to really give them, again, the best embrace, the best support, and the best opportunity for success. And so when we see that we've got a lot of people joining us every month, it's not normal. It's called momentum. And we have an opportunity to really help people understand that the proof is really in what we're actually doing to help people change their lives, giving them opportunities to start to understand better what it is that they need to do to navigate these courses, if you will, every day. As they're starting to learn more about the company and more about the business, they may not have been involved in network marketing in the past, or they may not have been involved in Neumi in the past. And so as a result, they'll need to learn some of those basics that we need to do every day in order for us to be successful and in order for us to have our people become successful. And one of the main reasons why I was so adamant about this training is that, as Michael knows, we used to do these trainings once a week, once a month, and they were fantastic because they really gave people a home to get to. What I've realized over the last few months is that as we've had thousands of people join the company, that it's been important for us to again surround them, give them the best opportunity for success, but also teach them the basics on what they need to do every day that are the Neumi culture. And so that was one of the big things. So as we've seen all of these people join, one of the things that we're seeing right now are a lot of people rank advance. We're seeing a lot of people have an opportunity for this upward trajectory that's giving them this incredible confidence and hope. And so it's a real opportunity for us as we continue to learn a little bit more about, again, the company and about the process and about the hydrostat technology. It's just as important to learn the basics on what we do every day. And so let's start off with, Michael, if we could, let's start off with those people who have rank advanced that we'd love to celebrate their successes and really give people an opportunity to see their name up in lights and all the good stuff that comes along with it. Now, I won't be able to keep up with every name that's on there, but I will go through, again, recognizing that we have what we call senior members. And I want to give a little bit of an understanding of what that means and what it takes to get to these next levels, because this will play into what we're talking about tonight. So let's hit it, Michael. So as we see the rank advancements coming up, the one area that you'll see is the first area will be our senior members. And our senior members are absolutely, as I said, they are the most important people in the room. They're the ones that have recently taken a step into Neumi. They've made a commitment to start running with their people. And as a result, they've been able to rise up through the ranks a little bit. And that's the first step. It creates that belief. It helps them understand that there are certain steps that they need to take. And then as they learn and grow a little bit more, you can see we've got just so many senior members that have been able to rise up just a little bit, continue to rise up through those ranks and bring in a few people and help them bring in a few people and create what we call duplication in the industry. And that is so important to us as we continue to, again, educate. We'll create that knowledge base, that understanding that they'll need to go and to continue to grow into one star. And then we'll start working on some, again, additional trainings that will help us with one-star boot camps and giving them the ability to understand what it takes to not only get to one star, but once you're at one star, what does it take to get to those next levels in the ranks, growing up through the two-star ranks and getting up into those areas. And again, you can see these names coming in from all over the world, 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars. You saw how many senior members. And that's the importance of us coming together and really supporting them with trainings and with education and with information as we continue to grow. And so the area that I'm really excited about tonight, and the area that I think you guys will find is really important, is that we talked about, in my opinion, growth without training, growth without systems. It really is just chaos. You're bringing a lot of people in and they're excited and they're motivated. You give them some inspiration, but if they don't really know the day-to-day activities that they need to do, they'll have a tough time getting started. So again, I tell you that because it creates a lot of chaos. The other thing that happens is that duplication without systems, again, is just luck. And we don't want just luck. We want intention. We want to give people the opportunity to grow and to learn in a system that they can put into practice. And by putting it into practice, they start to see some success. As they continue to see a little bit more success, guess what happens? They start to have belief. And that belief that comes about is really what starts to drive. So tonight is a big deal. It's really an opportunity to, again, launch an onboarding call, giving our field the training that they've desperately wanted, that they've desperately needed, but that we haven't quite gotten to. And so here we are today. And so I also appreciate the fact that we've got over 100 people on a call right now. As I know, and I see a couple of my friends from Europe, it's the middle of the night for them, but yet here they are. They're still on the call and they're still focused on being a part and being present with us. But of course, I see people from New Zealand. I see people from Australia. I see people from Indonesia. I see people from all over the world. And that's why it's so important to understand that what we're doing tonight is setting precedents. It's building a foundation, and it'll give you the ability to really understand. So Michael, and I'm not going to take his thunder, but I always tell people this, and it's something that I want you to think about as the newest member of Neumi. What can you do to make an impact, a positive impact on your team? What can you do to help make a positive impact on the community that we're here serving? And what can you do to make a positive impact not only on your people that you're bringing in, but as a role model and as an example to others? So as I talked about, we've got people from all over the world, and some of these people that I see on our call tonight are diamonds. They're incredibly well-developed diamonds. They've done great things to help us get to where we're at today. And so I see these individuals and I thank them for being a part of it, but setting the example. So one thing that Michael Firth always does is he's willing to raise his hand when nobody else will, and he's willing to jump in and help us. So again, tomorrow he leaves for 14 days to take off to Indonesia, Japan, Taiwan. He's going to be gone and traveling like crazy, but he still raised his hand and said, I'm here to help and support my team. And really, as a lot of these people are, they are on his team, but a lot of people aren't. And so realize that we're doing everything we can for the masses. And so we'll talk a little bit about the Neumi 1, 2, 3 tonight. We'll talk a little bit about the Neumi 90-day success planner, really giving you an idea that it's your personal roadmap. It really helps you, again, navigate and understand these uncharted territories that you're going into. The 5 steps to success, we'll talk a little bit about that because it's an area that we can impact, but it's also an area that creates massive duplication, helping people understand how to get to the return on their investment, how to get to their product for free, how to get to that lifestyle change of whatever that number is for them, but most likely around 500 US dollars. and then getting to their rank goals and targets, as well as their personal income goals that they're set out to achieve. So all of those areas are the most important areas for us to impact and talk about tonight. And so again, I am excited to see what we're doing, that we're starting this, and it will not stop. The one thing I always tell people, consistently consistent is the message tonight. We need to be absolutely consistent in the way that we're driving towards each individual goal. As we're setting our targets out there, we need to understand how we get there. And again, surrounding yourself with these incredible individuals that we have on the call tonight means that you've got the support of people that have been there, they've done it, and they understand exactly what you're going to be going through in order for you to start developing your organization and your team towards success. And again, what I always tell people, don't think of this as a sprint. You're not in this as a sprint. You're in this as a long distance run. Call it an ultra marathon. It never ends. But the reason that I tell you that is that it's not about just wasting all of your effort trying to run as fast as you can to get started without knowing what you're doing. When you know what you're doing, and when you have a map in front of you, I guess we don't use maps as much as we used to, but when you've got when you've got your Apple Maps or your Google Maps in front of you and you're able to navigate a little bit easier and a little bit better, trust me when I tell you, when I was a young boy, so I'm going to leave you with this. I was 18 years old. My parents decided to move from Salt Lake City, Utah, out to Dallas, Texas. It's about a 2-day drive if you want to drive it. So we get out to Dallas, and I decide I'm going to come back to school at the University of Utah. So it's back in Salt Lake City. And so I've got to get in my car and I've got to drive back by myself. I'm just barely 18 years old, and I'm going to use a paper map, and I'm going to drive all the way from Dallas, Texas back to Salt Lake City by myself, nobody with me. Now remember, folks, I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to not have a cell phone at 18 years old. So I didn't have any way to communicate other than stopping for a payphone or asking somebody to use their telephone. And so those were the days that we were at, say again, 30, 40 years ago, exactly 40 years ago. How about that? Now look at where we're at today. And you've got all of these tools and all of these resources and all of this communication apparatus that's in front of you. All you have to do is plug into it. So that is what I'm asking you to do tonight. If you're a leader in this company, I'm asking you to bring every single one of your people, your newest people, to this training every month. The reason for that is your best foot forward is going to be giving them an opportunity to be exposed to one of the greatest trainings that they'll ever have, which is how to get started with Neumi. It's an onboarding course that all of you can use to, again, continue to plug your people in to the first training that will be important to them. And then we'll continue to create subsequent trainings for them as well beyond. But think about it. What can we do to train and educate and inform our people the best way possible? And it's right at this venue. So for those of you that are on and you've been with us for years and you're just incredibly successful or trying to be successful every day, thank you. For all of you new people, I applaud you for being on tonight. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to be a part of this training. And I promise you, you will walk away with all kinds of knowledge and information as we turn it over to Michael first. So Michael, I'll turn it right back to you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Aaron. Now, what I'm going to do, just as a little segue, because I noticed there's some issues with the translation from Alfredo. I just want to get that working first because there's a lot of Spanish people on. So, Alfredo, I'm going to just manage that by booting you out and rebooting you again. Just give me a nod if you've heard that. Okay, great. I'm going to just update now, and I'm going to add you one more time. So here we go. And we're going to make sure this is working solidly before we get started. So add interpreter. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us on social media, we do not have interpretation there. We only have it here in the room. Update. So Alfredo, tell me if you are good now. Now do a quick test, and if someone could, in the Spanish, just make sure you can hear him. Sergio, if you could just check if you can hear him in Spanish, or if someone can. Someone type it in English for me so I know, because I can't read it. I just want to make sure it's working first. No. All right. Sorry, guys. We'll just wait till they see what's going on at their end. So, Alfredo, you might need to accept it in Spanish, and then they need to click the button in Spanish as well. If this continues, I'm going to have to just get started, guys, because we're on a time schedule.
Yeah,
While
Michael, for
he
some
does that,
reason, it's sorry to interrupt, Michael, but just so you're aware, the English, it was showing English language, it's now in Spanish, but it's still only working for subtitles for some reason.
let me just, Fredo, I'm just going to test Spanish now. Can you say a word for me, please? Say something. Alfredo. No, you're not, you haven't selected Spanish at your end. That's why it's not working. I'm in the Spanish room right now. Just click the button, accept Spanish.
Yeah, I moved that on his speaking language, so hopefully that should do the trick.
Yeah, no, he needs to do that at his end. Anyway, look, guys, unfortunately, because it's been left to the last second, we're going to have to just go run with it anyway. So not much I can do. Sorry, guys. All right, we're going to get started. So I can say this. If you're watching this and you speak Spanish, in 24 to 48 hours, this session, which is being live streamed on YouTube, will have closed captions to play back anyway. Okay. So I want you to know that. So before I get into this particular topic, this is all about, as Aaron said, getting someone started correctly. And what's the chance of success for someone going it alone in Neumi without any orientation? Pretty slim. Why? 97% of the population are not sales types. And funny that some people think network marketing is sales, but it's not. How's that? Well, it's about duplication. If you want a big impact and a big income, it's about duplication and less about just what you can do as a salesperson. So let me just go through a few things here that I think are good to start with. Not orientating someone can perpetuate problems from generation to generation to generation, and we're here today to bring it back. So what are some of the negative impacts that could be caused if you didn't have a proper orientation with someone? Number one, I've seen this plenty. A couple of weeks after they join, they go, check out my social media page, Neumi Australia. Oh, did you know you're not allowed to use the word Neumi in a social media page? No, no one told me that. Well, if someone had have started you properly, they would have given you the compliance document and pointed that out. Second thing, someone starts putting a social media testimonial up. Oh, my arthritis has gone away since I've been swishing. Oh, did you know you're not allowed to do that? No, I didn't. Well, that's because your upline didn't give you the compliance document. Right? Next one. They basically go out there and start spamming the words Neumi, 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 and then it's not working and they wonder why. Well, you could have had information about that in the orientation, which would have stopped as well. So I could go on and on and on about all the reasons, but my job is to protect the culture of the company and give the biggest scope for growth. Now, I'm going to tell you everything from my perspective, the way I see the world. Do I know all the answers? No. Am I the only expert? No. Okay. So I'm just going to talk about my perspective, but I can tell you this. I've been in network marketing for 40 years. You learn a couple of things and you burn your fingers on a few things. So I can tell you what I've done wrong versus why we have a system with Neumi 123 right now. Okay. I've also had 20 years experience in the glutathione world as well, which means I've got that knowledge to add to it as well. So none of what I'm going to share with you is theory. Everything's about what I've done to get my business moving. So let's hop in and let's have a quick look at the slides. And by the way, these slides are freely available for everyone who wants to continue to run with what these are as well. Okay, so step one. The most important thing we need to do is tap into someone's reason why. So there are essentially 5 things that we do. Okay, and I'm going to put it to you this way. We contact people, which means adding to our list. We invite people, which means inviting them to look at a tool or come to an event. We present the presentation, we follow up, and we coach or mentor. Now let's talk to the brand new person. It's just like this little piggy went to market. This one, you do not need to know how to coach because you can't coach theory. It won't cut it. You don't know what you're talking about, so don't coach. Number 2, you don't follow up on your own. You should be using an upline and the third-party validation to help you with your follow-ups. That's why you learn on the go. We don't need you to present when you're brand new. Why? Because you want to illustrate the process to somebody, how easy it is. Down the track, do we want you to present? Sure, if you want to. That leaves two things: contacting and inviting. We're not going to talk about contacting today. We're just going to talk about inviting in the second half. But what's going to drive you to want to do a better job of inviting? Knowing your reason why. What's driving you? What do you want to achieve out of it? Because if you have a very strong reason why and you tap into that, you're going to do more effort than if you didn't. Proof of that was when I joined, I had lost everything financially. I was driving an Uber. So I was highly motivated. My reason why was very clear, and I did more effort than most people in Neumi at the time. That's why I became a crown in 12 months. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying I was highly motivated. So if you haven't tapped into your brand new person's reason why, that's why they're not doing much activity. So let's get back into that and talk about the 5 first steps to success, a clear roadmap. So who is in business? Type in yes in the chat if you are considered that you are in business. Now I can see Alfredo's talking, which means he may have sorted out his translation. Give me a thumbs up if it's working. Yay. Thank you. Very good. All right. So if you're in business, then treat it like a real business. What do I mean? Some people, they're like, I'm in Neumi and I'm not getting much success. And I'm like, well, you invite one person a week. No wonder. You're going to be 100 years old. So let's talk about your reasons why here. Step 1, most people just want a return on their investment. And in any business, you would do that. If you owned a McDonald's franchise, you want to get the $1 million plus back you spent. In Neumi, what have you spent? Maybe $100, maybe $300 on an initial pack. So your first step is to get your money back. Let's talk about the 100, for example. So if you want your money back, what are you going to do? Real simple. Bring in 4 people at your level or above. Okay, that's to get profits. And with the 25% welcome bonus, that's how you're going to be in profit. So how does this 25% welcome bonus work? You invested $100 and then you're going to get a $25 enrollment fee for the 4 people that you've enrolled. What does that equal? $100. If you spend $100, boom, you're in profit. So anyone who's online right now who's a member, you could be in profit. Did you know I have never paid for my Neumi products more than once? Type in yes if you'd love to get your Neumi products free from the first month onwards, permanently forever after, right? So I've never paid for it because I bought a $1,000 pack when I joined, which was a struggle, and I put it on my credit card because I was in a bad financial position, but that gave me the motivation to build fast. The next month, when we launched, I had more income than outgoing, so I didn't pay for the product. They just kept getting free, paid for by the profits. So starting fast means you can get into a nil position very, very, very quickly. So that's number 1. Step 2 is getting your product for free permanently. How does that work? Pretty simple. So to cover your monthly product cost, now we're going to tap into the next few ranks. Now we're going to talk a minute about the Neumi Success Planner or the Fast Start Guide, but I'll come back to that. We're going to tap into the uni level commissions and the power of 3. And we're going to build a team that generates enough volume so that your $100 monthly commitment is covered, okay? How do we do that? Really simple. So here is you, and you have 3 people who have purchased 100 PV in your second month, and they are members, and you're going to get a $50 power of 3 bonus on top of your other commissions. Plus, you're going to continue to introduce more people, because if you're getting coached to build 3 teams only, you are being misguided. You always build 3 or more teams, preferably 6 teams if you want to build this compensation plan the way it pays out the highest. If you build 3, you are limiting your income big time. So you go 3 or more. So in this example, we have a 4th person. Then we're going to help duplicate that. Now, as in this example, we haven't duplicated everybody because it's real life. All 3 people won't duplicate straight away. It's normal. Some will go faster than others. So in this example, on the second level of the uni level, this person has duplicated their power of 3. This one has only done 2. This one's done 1. If you add all that up, you've got $120 worth of commission. And if this structure stayed in place moving forward, you have free products permanently. Pretty simple. Now, your ultimate goal was to help all these people to find 3, but we're saying somewhere before that happened, you're in profit and your products are now free. Step 3 is now that you've got your initial return on investment back in the first month, and now you've got ongoing commissions coming in more than your product purchase. So it's a nil business. It's costing you nothing to run and you've got free products. Now we're going to talk about the next goal, a lifestyle change. Now, what does that lifestyle change look like for you? An extra $500 a month is usually the first benchmark where people can feel a real lifestyle shift. Think about it. Whether it's paying bills that are strangling you financially right now, whether it's you haven't been on a family holiday for a long time, maybe you want to pay a lot more off the mortgage because you want to retire, whatever it is, what would $500 extra per month on top of everything else do for you? So how does that work, right? Well, by reaching the power of 3, you can help get to your $500 benchmark. What does it look like? Well, we continue to duplicate, and you can see here, we've got 3 people or more, in this case 4. I would suggest, hear me loud and clear, build towards 6. Don't stop at 4. Always go wider. Width equals profit. But in this example, we've only got 4 wide. These people have now duplicated. So now you have the second threshold of $250 US because you have duplicated. And of course, it's duplicated further down the line, making you a senior member. And now you can see on the left-hand side here that we have $502. Now, let's simplify this. How did we do it? Step 1, we looked for 3 or more people who got started with the same way we did. We got our profit back. Then we continued to help at least 3 of these people to develop their power of 3, and we got into profit where more profits were coming in the business and we never ever have to pay for product again. That was me in the first month. Then the third step was we just helped keep continuing to help level 3 of the power of 3, which is the roadmap, and that's how we got into profit. Please note, power of 3 is not meant to be a permanent bonus. If you are a diamond, a double diamond, a triple diamond, and a crown, and you're in the first 3 levels of your business, you don't understand network marketing at all. You should be driving depth way down the bottom. I'm proud to say, as a crown with double crowns in my team, I do not qualify for level 3 of the power of 3 anymore. Most of my income comes from the infinity bonus, which is where I should be working. So if I'm not in the infinity bonus and I'm focusing on my first 3 levels, I'm focusing on my income, I'm not helping enough people to drive depth, and I really don't know what I'm doing. So I need to rethink it. So, and I was taught that by Alex, the master distributor. Let's move on. Step 4. Now maybe you have some rank goals. So what do those rank goals look like? Well, it could be anything. Each rank represents a new level of influence, impact, and income. So define what it is you want to hit the next rank as your milestone, and they create a natural checkpoint as we go, okay? So if you don't have a goal, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it with amazing accuracy. So here in this example, our personal income goal we've set, we can then tie that to whatever the rank equals, okay? Now, if you go to the 90-day plan, that QR code's not working, by the way. I noticed that today, Sergio. But if you go to the 90-day plan, that will help you to do some goal setting for the future. And you need to put a bit of pre-thought into that. So define your goal. What's your number? Is it 1,000 a month? Is it 10,000 a month? Is it 50,000 a month? Do you know, I had them map out the compensation plan for someone who was earning $150,000 a month with another company, and it is possible to earn those sorts of dollars with our compensation plan as you rank as well now. So what is your goal? Maybe it's just 1,000, whatever it is, that's fine, okay? So putting it all together, step 1, return on investment. That's your first step. Step 2, we move into getting your product for free. And we do that by following the power of 3 with 3 or more people. Step 3, we then want a lifestyle change. Maybe it's something as small as $500, and we can help map that out for you. Step 4, We then rank a goal. Where do we want to be? Do you want a leveraged income for life or just a little bit of income on the side? And then step 5, a personal income goal, and chase your vision your way. And there's no secret that you have to do a certain way. That's the 5 steps to success. Now, if you got a lot out of that, type in yes in the chat. And while you're doing that, I'm now going to open it up and go to the next stage, right? A lot of people saying yes, that's brilliant. And if you're on social media or YouTube, please type in yes if it helped you as well. So really simple, chunk it down. We don't have to talk about crown to the brand new person. Maybe we're just talking about getting your money back. Don't overshoot it. So then let's talk about the Neumi 123. So this is the Neumi 123 ABC of Neumi, which is a cultural concept we created from day one. Now, you can play this back as many times as you need, as repetition is the mother of skill. And I want you to know that. Now, I want to say this. One of the reasons for the success of Neumi going global so fast in 15 languages and 74 countries is because we had a simple system from day one. Now, it was music to my ears when we did the nano success tips from leaders from double crown down to 1-star the other day, where I actually heard leaders of all ranks say, if I had my time over, the biggest thing I would do is I would have learnt the Neumi 123, because I went down the track. Some people were diamonds. They went all the way to diamond and then hit this, couldn't get past diamond. Realized they had no third-party validation and no Neumi 123. So the systems, or lack thereof, was what's stopping them from having a big business. Now, I've got to say this. Before I hit crown, I couldn't teach you how to be a crown because theory doesn't cut it. I can't teach you how to be a double crown because I haven't become one yet. I'd be hypocritical to try and tell you how to do it because I don't know, because I'm not one, right? Only Karen and Alex can. Hook your wagon to them if you want to go double crown. I can teach you what it took me to get to crown, but I'm going to tell you this. When I was hitting diamond in another company and I wondered why I couldn't get past diamond, it wasn't till I heard Alex say, that's because you don't have any systems. So hear me loud and clear. If you're in Neumi and you've hit a successful rank without the systems and you're now not, please know that it is your lack of systems that's stopping you from rank advancing. You can be a crown, but if you keep running without systems, you won't be. Okay, it's as simple as that. One of the reasons for the big success of Neumi is not just because our products are half the price of most competitors and way more effective and does things nothing can do. The other thing is that we also have more commission payout than every other company, paying 53 cents in the dollar. But the big reason is that we have a system in every language that's duplicated across the world, and all the big leaders are actually doing it. Now, there's a couple that aren't, but they're also plateauing and wondering why they can't get beyond that rank. So the Achilles heel learning for me was that we needed a system, and that's why Neumi started with a system developed by the field from day one. Let's talk about that system now. So Alex Monterosa created this and I loved it, and it was shared in our 1-star boot camps. It's called the Neumi duplication quadrant. Step 1 is you plug into the system. What does that mean? Plug into the Neumi Academy workshops, corporate approved training, the weekly presentations, your upline training, and that will get you to member or senior member. I want to say this. There's a lot of calls happening every week. You don't need to be on everything. The number one thing that should be not negotiable is the members night every week. You never miss that. If you're a brand new member and you've got limited time, members night, first priority every Wednesday. Second priority, team calls, right? Third priority, anything else. So members night first, non-negotiable every single week, watch it live, or if you're working, get on the recording and don't miss it the day after. Second priority, team calls. Why? Because the team calls aren't telling you what corporate's saying, so you need to be on the weekly members night first. Other things like the business presentations, they're optional that you can get onto when you need to. So for example, what I'm saying is, if you were to log on to Steve Scott's call every time he does it and never have a guest, you're wasting your time. Go and prospect and get people onto the calls. If you're logging onto the weekly business presentation on a Tuesday on your own and never inviting, you're wasting your time. Go prospect and get people onto the call. If you invite people onto the call every week and you're there, that's great. But the number one call, members night, never miss it. Simple as that. Now, then we do what we learn. So the first step was learning what to do. The second was doing what you've learned. That's where action and implementation comes into play. So you choose an active mentor to guide you. You create your list Okay. You become a connector, you contact and invite, and it'll get you to 1-star, 2-star, or 3-star. Then we move into the next quadrant, which is learning to teach. Now, make sure your mentor is a higher rank than you. Don't, if you have an upline who's not as active as you, go around them, get a bigger mentor if you want to keep growing, because someone who is a smaller rank than you can't mentor you on things they haven't done. So this is where it's about continuous ongoing education. You go from rookie to pro to expert to influencer. You keep counseling with an upline, and that's where duplication happens and people hit 3-star and diamond. And then we teach to teach, which is when you become a mentor of the mentors. And that's where the residual life kicks in. And that's where you learn, do, teach, repeat, and rinse and repeat. And that's where you can get to double diamond, triple diamond, and crown, and double crown, triple crown, and president. Now, is there people that have achieved diamond without doing that? Yes. Does that mean they will continue to crown? No, it's probably going to be their aha moment down the track where they didn't do the systems. So yes, there are people who've hit a rank, and I've seen them get to pretty high ranks through a Blue Friday sale with no systems and then go blah, 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 snakes and ladders. Now they might have had a rank of triple diamond and now they're a 2-star, and that's because they didn't systemize themselves. So I want everyone, I'm not going to broadcast who or isn't holding a rank, but you know who you are. If you haven't held a rank, you know that the reason is you haven't systemized your business. So now's your opportunity to turn that around. Now, I'm going to say this out loud. Florence and Christoph have had more 3-way calls with me in the last 2 weeks than anyone known to man, and they were already 3-star. But they realized what was missing for them was 3-way Zoom. So boom, we're booked out, right? In fact, I open my diary and it's usually there's Florence and Christoph first, and there's some other people as well. So get as many calls as possible going. Doesn't matter how big your rank is. Now, the first question is, isn't just sharing the product enough on its own, Michael? The product's good. I just got to put it in people's hands. Well, yes, but no. The second question, absolutely everyone loves me, Michael. I can sell anything. I'm a salesperson. Don't you know that? Isn't that going to work? It's going to hold you back. Third question, is what you're doing right now so simple a child could duplicate it? Or is it your unique skills? Remember the 3 Ps. If you write this down, product, personality, and process. So let me explain. I love my beautiful friend for 20 years, Steve Scott. Steve Scott got on a call once and said, all you got to do is get this in people's hands. And I said, Steve, you know that's not true. Because when you do that, you'll get a customer. You won't duplicate network marketing. Now, Steve won't mind me saying this. Ryan, Steve, Alex had it, and I had a chat before we launched the company. And he said, and I quote, that we said to Steve, please, if we're going back into business with you, you have to promise us that you'll stay in your lane. He said, what does that mean? We said, well, you're not a network marketer. The systems need to be created from the field with people with their finger on the pulse. And that is about duplication rather than just get this in people's hands. So product can get you so far, but won't continue to grow. This is why systems are important, because 97% of people are not sales types. The second P is personality. This was my Achilles heel. I was a national sales coach. I know how to sell. I open my mouth. I have all the communication qualities. I just talk and people join. I hit diamond in the previous company. What stopped me going from beyond diamond? Because I didn't have process. So product is great. Don't dumb it down, but it won't get you all the way. Personality is awesome. Don't dumb down your skills, but it won't get you all the way. Combining that with process will get you all the way. So let's talk about that. Success in Neumi is as simple as 1, 2, 3, ABC. How does it work? Let's start with the 1, 2, 3. So there is a fast start guide you would have been given by your sponsor on day one. If they didn't give it to you, I say this with jovial fun, go and give them a kick in the butt and say, please give me the fast start guide and the 90-day plan. You're supposed to have given it to them on hello. Here is everything I give a brand new member when they start. I'm looking at Simone, typed yes, Simone got this. Compliance document, fast start guide, 90-day plan, Neumi 1, 2, 3 recorded training, right? That's what everyone gets. Why? No chance of social media oopsies, because they know what you can and can't do compliance-wise. Number 2, they have, if they're a simple personality, no, I shouldn't say simple, if you're a big picture personality like me, where you don't read details, fast start guide. If you're a detailed personality who likes reading everything before you engage in anything, 90-day plan. 2 separate guides, one for the big picture people, one for the detailed people. Give them both, let them choose. So compliance document, 90-day plan, and fast start guide, and the recorded training like this one we're doing right now, you'll probably forward out to people because it's on YouTube straight after we finish. Moving on. So we have an app, and in the app, you can send people the fast start guide and the 90-day plan. Please note at the time of this recording, we are about, and I promise we won't extend it longer, we're about 3 weeks off launching the new version of the app. I know it's been coming for a while. It'll be easier to find those tools in the app because I've seen what it's going to look like as soon as we launch in about 3 weeks. So just understand the new app will be easier to find it, but these tools are, if you find them, they're buried in the app right now in the current version. So that's number one. So connect. You connect your prospects, connect to tools, connect to leaders, connect to products. So the Neumi 1, 2, 3 is that. Connect to tools, connect to leaders, connect to products. Let's break it down. Connect your prospects to tools. What do we mean? The 3-minute hydrostat video is the first video everyone gets, even if they are a molecular biologist or a sports star or a doctor. They still get the same video as a broke university student would get, which is a 3-minute video. Why don't I change it every time? Because I'm trying to teach duplication. If I alter it every time, there's nothing to duplicate. The second video that everyone gets is the Neumi weekly opportunity overview. It's either live on the Tuesday, or it's the one from the app, which is the 20-minute presentation, or it might be my own weekly team opportunity overview. But the second video everyone watches after 3 minutes is the opportunity overview, okay? Or a live launch for you. Now, let's just touch on that. 3 types of people join Neumi. Some people have a high capacity for intensity. What does that mean? I rang 100 people in the first week. Bang, 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 bang. In fact, probably 50 in the first day. I was ringing because I was highly motivated. My intensity is a 10 out of 10. Some people have capacity for that. Not everybody does. If you do have capacity for that, reach up line and get someone to do a dedicated live stream event just for you, where you invite all your prospects onto an event tailored just for you. Get 50 people on, get 100 people on, explode with a big start and end up like I did, double diamond in 2 weeks, right? You can do that. I did it, right? That's high intensity. On the other end, some people go, I just want my product for free. I'm going to invite a person a week, a person a month, and that's okay. We need those people in the business as well. But the sweet spot is right in the middle, and I love my beautiful friend Italo, who created this system. It's called the Neumi Cycles, which is 10 calls today, 10 calls tomorrow, 10 calls the next day, follow up for the rest of the week. That's a cycle. So pick, do you want a live event launch where your upline presents and you go, boom, 100 people online? Do you want to just poke it with a stick, or do you want to go to the sweet spot in the middle, which duplicates, which is the cycles? You choose. That's about intensity. So number 1, connect to tools. Number 2, connect to leaders. How do we do that? 3-way phone call or 3-way Zoom with an upline. So you invite them to be introduced to somebody else who answers their questions. It can be a key leader Zoom introduction to corporate. I do that sometimes. It can be a coffee introduction face-to-face if you are live, which is obviously better than online. It could be a group Q&A if you have a fast-growing group and you haven't got time for the one-on-ones. It could be connecting them to Steve Scott on it's no longer weekly, but the monthly call with Steve does. It can also mean adding them to the Neumi New You official Facebook group to see testimonials and connect with people that way. And it can be attending the next live event to meet others. Now, let me just point out why I think this one here is my primary objective. They are all connecting to leaders, but the one at the top is the most effective. Why? If I do it one-on-one, and let's say Kevin introduces me to Simone, which he did, and I get on a call, when I spend my time on that call with Simone, what do I do? The start of the call is a greeting, building rapport, getting to know her. Second part is qualify, asking her questions to understand her needs, wants, desires, and don't wants. And then invitation is suggesting next steps. I can do that one-on-one because I can get to know Simone's needs, wants, desires, don't wants. If I do it in a group, I can't tailor it. So the most effective is one-on-one because I can tap into what's driving Simone and what she really wants to achieve in her life one-on-one and then tailor the suggestions. I can't do that in a group. Now, will everyone on this call go one-on-one follow-ups? No. Does every single prospect that I show watch the 2-minute, 3-minute video, the opportunity overview, have a 3-way call with Alex and then join? No. It's more like this. Out of 30 contacts I call, in my case, 29 of them will watch the first video, maybe 25 are watching the second video, maybe 15 of them agree to get on a 3-way call, and maybe 10 of them turn up to the 3-way call with Alex. And then out of that, I end up with on average 3 members and 3 customers, right? That's the average. So not everybody will. So our goal is to aim to get as many people on a follow-up third-party validation as possible. All I'm saying is if you have no one on a third-party call, you're off target. You think you're going to the moon, but you're heading off somewhere else, right? If you have everyone on, you're better than me. Do as many as you can. So third-party validation is important. It won't happen to every single person because they won't all be open to it, and that's fine. And of course, this is a quick note. If you are a speaker, like I'm going to be in Japan, Indonesia, and Taiwan, when I run that event, I am in a neutral position at the front of the room. If someone comes up to speak to me from Peter Rayner's team or Peter Nagy from another group, they're not in my downline. I'm not there to tell them how to build a business. I'm there to answer their questions and edify their upline, not to take over from their upline. So it's a neutral, respected position. And that's why I don't promote any of my own unique things I might do in my team on those calls out of respect for my position on the day at that event. So just note that if you're a presenter. Now, number 3 is connect to products. What does that look like? Get them registered as a member, maybe a preferred customer on AutoShip, at least a one-off purchase at retail. Now, sometimes I will give a product sample out. Now, you notice it doesn't say connect your prospects to the products and give everyone a sample. When I joined, I've given many people a bottle of product. If they went through the first 2 videos, spoke to Alex, and then hadn't joined, I'll say, look, you know what? This is on me. Just try that. And they all end up joining anyway because they get a good result. Do I give a product to someone who hasn't gone through the first 2 videos and met Alex? Never. Why? I'm not wasting $50. And even this, I don't give 1 bottle of this to anyone because most people I found needed maybe 2 weeks before they saw a result. So I might give 2 of these away or 1 of these, but I would only do that if they went through a really rigorous investigation first and seemed positive. I'm not giving this to someone who says, sounds like a scam. Move on, waste of time. Now, when I talked to the Philippines team in the early stages, I said, Michael, we can't give away free product. Financially, no one can afford it. We never said you had to. We said you could. So understand it said connect to product. We didn't say how. You choose. So perhaps sell them a bottle if you're in a not for retail, in a fully operational market. Don't do that in an NFR market. You might get yourself in financial trouble. Loan them a bottle. I use this all the time. Rotation stock. When I'm registering, this is important. Some people in your team are going to register with a quarterly pack and they go, I've got 100 PV, 100 PV, 100 PV. That's great, but they're not your builders. What do you mean? Well, if you're building, don't you have extra product in the cupboard? If you've just got product for your own use, that's like running the race with a leg tied behind your back. Everybody else has got 2 legs. You've got 1 because you don't have any potential product to use in the field. So if you are registering and you're going to build a proper business, register on AutoShip with a quarterly pack. That's fine. Now go buy a second bottle of product, whatever you can afford, to put in the cupboard and don't touch it. It's not for you. It's for you to have just in case you need to rotate some stock. If you join me in the Sunshine Coast tomorrow, you're going to get given a bottle of product to take home immediately, and you're going to give one back to me when yours arrives. If I don't have product in the cupboard, I can't do that. So I'm going to slow myself down. So that's why, if you want to know this, worldwide, the average PV per person is not 100, it's 200. Why? Because people are buying product to get out in the market. So understand that. So you can register with 1 product. That's the minimum commitment. I'd encourage you to get some product in the cupboard as well, okay? That way you can loan a bottle out. And of course, you can send them to the Neumi New You Facebook group for more testimonials as well. Now, there's a secret power for superheroes. It's called BAM Fam. Please write it down. Book a meeting from a meeting. This is the secret superpower. Now, in other words, what I don't do is I don't say, hey, I'm going to send you a video, Phoebe, and get back to me when you've watched it. That's not Neumi 1, 2, 3 at all. what I'm going to say is, hey, if I sent you a video, Phoebe, when do you think you'll get a chance to watch it? You'll have some questions. When's a good time to debrief? I was thinking Monday morning or Tuesday morning between 10 and 12. What suits you best? Booking a meeting from a meeting. Now, I don't tell her I'm going to introduce you to my upline. I just say to her, I'm going to introduce you to a great buddy of mine who's had a great experience on the product, and he'll tell you all about that as well. So I'll tell her after I've actually booked the meeting. So BAM FAM is very important. Book a meeting from a meeting. Now, everything is uncomfortable at first. Can I say this just before we go further? Did you know some of you are going to say, oh, it's okay for you, Michael. You've made phone calls for years. I'm new to this. I don't know what I'm doing. Do you know, I'm going to say this to you. This week, I decided that I was going to learn how to paint. I've never painted anything in my life. Anything, right? Yet, if I showed you this will blow your mind. I have created this amazing painting at my house. Look at this, huge. This is all my first attempt at painting the world, which is going to sit behind me on my desk. I didn't have a clue how to paint. My dad was an artist. I've never painted in my life, but I decided I'm going to do this. What did I do? I went to the shop and I asked Bronwyn. I love this lady from Eckersley's art. She told me what to do. Then I went on AI and I looked at different options and I studied some of the experts, and then I did a few practice runs. If I showed you my practice runs, they're embarrassing. They look like a 5-year-old did them. The first version was a 5-year-old. The second version was an 8-year-old. The next one was a 10-year-old. The next one was a 20-year-old. Then I got mentoring and practiced. Now I know that looks amazing. And as Kevin said, I'm showing off. He said the other day, and I am because I'm proud of it. So phone calls are the same. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Practice. All right. So everything is uncomfortable at first. That's called unconscious incompetence. Then eventually you get to conscious competence where you realize, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I need a mentor. Then you move on and your conscious competence where you are structured, where you're going, this is how I make a phone call. I sound like a robot. And eventually, if you practice enough, you get to unconscious competence where it sounds conversational. So remember that. Now let's talk about onboarding people. Neumi 123 is to recruit. Neumi ABC is to get them on the right track. In the Fast Start Guide, again, it tells you what to do. So you direct instead of connect. You direct your members to the app, you direct your members to the bonus, and you direct your members to the community. Let's talk about the app. The app has everything in it. Download the Neumi app right now. It's going to have a revised version coming out in a couple of weeks. I don't want to give you a date. Practice the Neumi 123. Practice sending out a video from the app to your sponsor. See if they get it. Work with your new person on their invitation. Teach them the right questions to ask for book a meeting from a meeting. Second, direct your new members to the bonus. Teach them the power of 3 simplicity. Get 3 or more, not 3, 3 or more, 4 or 5 or 6 teams. Earn an extra $50. Then duplicate to $250 to $1,500. Include the rank explanations so they don't get a surprise. You will need to be a senior member for the $250. You will need to be a 2-star for the $1,500. But show them how easy it is, as I started with. By showing how to enroll 4 people, you get free products, and then watch the 130-10, which is another recording, and explain why you need 6 legs, not 3. Don't have them misguided on 3-leg stacking. Okay, so direct your members to the community. Introduce them to the community of support. If they haven't met upline, they're only attached to you, they're not sticky yet. Explain the event schedule, like I just did about members night, never miss it. And bam, fam, book a meeting from a meeting to one. Add your Neumi members to the Neumi member group. Add your Neumi members to the Neumi New You group. There are 2 separate groups for a purpose. Get them to submit their testimonial, please, to Neumi New You. We need more testimonials. Everyone has them, they're just not submitting them. And to determine their level of intensity. Is it poking with a stick? Is it going to do a launch, or is it a cycle? And discuss using the tool, not being a tool yourself at the start, and have fun. So success in Neumi is as simple as 1, 2, 3 ABC. And so you connect your prospects to the tools, the leaders, and products, connect, and you direct your members when they onboard to the app, the bonus, and the community. It's simple as that. Now, final thing I'm going to finish on because of time is talk about the difference between contacting and inviting, and give you my example, and then I'm going to encourage you to get a phone call with your upline immediately after this call to work on yours. So what is contacting? Contacting, in my opinion, based on my perspective, is being genuinely interested in another human being without a Neumi agenda and just keep an active list growing. So what does that mean? You're digging the well before you need it. It means I will be having conversations. I'm adding people on LinkedIn 3 to 5 a day, and I'm just interacting with people without a Neumi agenda. I may, in some circumstances, approach those people down the track. So I'm separating contacting from inviting so that I'm not desperate and I keep my posture. So I'm just meeting people, some of which I will invite. Contacting, inviting, separated from my perspective because it makes it much easier when I do that. Okay. Now, moving on. So inviting, what's that? Inviting someone to view a tool or attend an event, not explaining everything. If you're explaining it, you're presenting without a tool. Your job is a 30-second to 2-minute maximum phone call to get them to watch a tool. So who would like an objection-free invitation? Type in yes in the chat if you want an objection-free invitation, because I use this and I don't get any objections. A few yeses? Brilliant. Here's how it goes. Write this down. Small talk, can't talk for long, something to explain, super exciting blurb, if I would you, when are you free to? Let me go through them. Let me just read out my approach without anything written down, and you'll notice I fall all these categories. Ready? So it's, hey, Beth, how you going? How's your weekend? Great to speak. Haven't spoken in ages, blah, blah, blah. Listen, can't talk for long, just a quick call. Got to run out the door soon. But I wanted to go call to you because there's something exciting I wanted to tell you about. You're not even aware of this. Super quick blurb. We've invented a brand new nanotechnology product and we're expanding it around the world. In some countries, we've created a retail model. In other countries, we've created this home-based business model. It's going to 75 countries. The products are amazing. The results I'm seeing are off the charts. I'm seeing things I've never seen before. But hey, I don't know if it's for you, but the only reason I was calling is to ask you, if I sent you a video that explains a bit more about it, goes for about 3 minutes, would you watch it? Sure. Okay. Listen, when are you free to debrief? You'll probably have some questions. When do you think you'll get a chance to watch that video? I'll watch it now. Okay. I'll call you back in 5 then. Okay. So I'll go through it again. Small talk. Hey, Beth, how are you? How's your weekend? What have you been up to? Can't talk for long. That's to change gears. Something exciting I want to talk about you're not aware of. Give my elevator pitch. End it with, if I sent you a video, would you watch it? And then, hey, when are you free to debrief? That's my version. Don't try and say the same words as me. Talk to your upline. I don't care what you say in the blurb, as long as you finish with the question, if I sent you a video, would you watch it? And when you watched it, you'll have questions. When's a good time? I don't get objections at all, ever, right? Because I'm not trying to sell them. If you find yourself, you're on the phone call inviting someone for 5 or 10 minutes, you are presenting. You're not inviting, you're presenting. So go back to the invitation, let the videos do the work. So, bam, fam, book a meeting from a meeting. Now, don't be scared of this question. What is it? So what I say to what is it is really easy. Yeah, but what is it? I go back over exactly what I said. Well, we've invented a nanotechnology product, as I said. Now I'll take it deeper. I go, we put it in our mouth. It's so small, the particles absorb in 30 seconds into the bloodstream, and 30 into the organs in 70. Anyway, like I said, the video explains more about that anyway. It'll do a better job than I do. So if I send it to you, would you watch it? So I'm not scared of the what is it? I'm welcoming that question because I know exactly what I'm going to say because I practiced. Have you practiced? All right. Move back. So that is the Neumi 1, 2, 3 ABCs. Practice, 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 practice. So ladies and gentlemen, that is A, your reason why and the 5 ways to profit, and B, the secrets to a leverage business that can go worldwide. And I say this not bragging. I was more surprised than anyone to hit Crown in 12 months, but I plugged into that system that Alex and I created from day one. Now my team is across the world in 15 different languages with beautiful people I can hardly communicate with. I'm looking at Anita right now, growing a business across Poland. And I can't even talk to her in the same language, but I know she said last week, Neumi 1, 2, 3. What does that tell you, guys? You have the secrets to success right in front of you in your hands right now. Now, because of time, we've now finished a little late, 4 minutes. I apologize. But if you got a lot out of this particular event, please let everybody know. I'm going to, because I said I promised I would, I'm going to now stop the live streaming and I'm going to keep it open for any questions if you want. You can leave if you want to. We're not going to keep the event going permanently. But the Q&A will only ever happen when the recording has stopped here in the live Zoom room, and that's why you want to stay here. So if anyone has any questions about the Neumi 123 or the systems or anything, now's the time. I'm just going to ask you to type your question in the chat or put your hand up, and then we'll have some questions. So for all of you watching us online, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you enjoyed this.